Hello guys, today I want to go a little bit deeper inside the kernel synthesis on the Waldorf quantum iridium. It's a very powerful tool. If you don't know about this synthesizer, it has 5 synthesis engine: wavetable, waveform, particle, resonator and kernel, that is FM synthesis. So it's working with 6 kernel, or if you prefer 6 operators, that anyway they are oscillator. It can work in very different ways, and mainly it's working in phase modulation, because as you may know, the Yamaha DX7, that is an FM synthesizer, frequency modulation synthesizer, this term is not 100% correct, because it's not true FM but is more phase modulation. Now we will go inside and we will check. Let's init a patch. I will use this pen because I don't want to have fingerprints on the screen, so it's more readable for you. So to enter in FM mode, in kernel mode, wavetable, waveform. First of all, Waldorf gave us some templates of this FM. We have okay, here you can save presets, but I wanted to go inside the programming, so let's go in edit. And as you see, as soon as I press edit, you have this preset, whereas the kernel 2 is the carrier oscillator and the kernel 1 is the modulator. You have the preset of algorithm. I don't even know how many of them they are. But anyway, one of the difference between the quantum iridium and the DX7 is that the DX7 had, if I remember good, 32 algorithm and stop. Here you can create your own algorithm, even if you have a list of preset. So I will change the routing because it's a little bit confusing to me to have the K2 as a carrier. So I will make K1 a carrier. Here is the out. So if the out is switched on, it means that you will hear the sound of this kernel. Let's put on 100. It's the volume in this case. The K2 needs to be the modulator, so I will switch off out, but this needs to stay on. Let's put down, because I want to show you before how it's going. Kernel 2 modulation 0, no one, and kernel 1 modulator K2. So now I will, it's a sine wave, so no harmonics, just the fundamental. But here, when I will increase the volume, at very high values, it started to be not pleasant at all. So this is the first thing that you may notice about the FM synthesis. I mean, you have a carrier, you have a modulator, and the modulator, they are interacting between each other, and the modulator is adding harmonic to the sound of the carrier. I'm going with fine to make you hear the subtle differences. Another thing that is very important in FM synthesis is the ratio between, that is, okay, in this case we'll give the tonality, okay, the pitch, the note. If I go on 2, I will go up an octave, 3 is something between, so it's like a fifth, okay, and 4 is 2 octave up, and here you will have some intermediate values, and 8 is another octave, so 16 another octave, and so on. But you can go here, each kernel has ratio, sub-ratio, ratio plus offset, semitones, fixed, and LFO. Okay, ratio, sub-ratio, you can understand. It will divide, so you will go down. Nothing important to mention about ratio plus offset. Semitones, it's semitones, so you will move -12, it's 1 octave. Fixed is a fixed ratio, will be the same regardless keyboard, and LFO, it will act like an LFO. So if I will change the ratio and if I will set the modulator, so you can understand that just with the 2 sine wave how many sound you can obtain. And if we will go, we'll come back to ratio, and we will set a non-integer value. We will have something like a bell sound. Of course, we need to change the envelope. This is the envelope of the carrier, so it's like an amplifier envelope. So let's go down here, let's go down this sustain, and let's give a little bit of decay. The kernel 2 is the modulator. We want that the modulation will not stay, will stay just for 1.5 seconds, so it will start modulating the sound at the values of 76%, and it's going down. As you can hear, when the modulation finish, I will show you better. It will remain the sine wave without any modulation. So this is controlling the volume, this is controlling the modulation. So let's come back. What is great on the Quantum, that as you may know, on the DX7 the 6 operator were just sine waves and you could not change. Here you can have many wavetable, so up, square, triangle, reso, white noise, big noise. And I will show you just, let's set the carrier. Let's go on envelope again. Let's put down and see how it will be. It's very different. If I will set Let's go a little bit to have an envelope that is faster, with a faster decay. And if we go here, we will set, as a modulator, we will set a triangular wave. And this is a little bit like a sync. And if we go here and set sub radio, so it's understandable that you can have a lot of different modulation changing the carrier and changing the modulator. It's very important with the modulator to work with the modulation level that will give a lot of nuances of the sound. The most important things are the ratio and the level. And of course the envelope will shape the sound during the time. Anyway, let's keep going to explore. So here it's a very important page, because here you see that this kernel is a carrier because it's switched on, so it's working and is giving the sound to the amplifier. And here you see that the kernel 2 is on, but is not going out, so it's not giving any sound. And moreover, you can see here that each kernel has up to 3 modulators. You can assign 3 modulators. I will show you one thing. I will activate the K3, but you don't see here because it's not modulating anything. Let's make that K2 need to be modulated by the K3. So you can see as soon I set K3 as a modulator of the K2, the K3 will appear. But in this case, it's K3 is modulating K2 that is modulating K1. So it's a sort of series modulation. It's in serial, okay? But what if I want to have 2 independent modulators for K1 in parallel? So K2, I will go to no modulators. So it's disappearing again. K3 is still on. K1, K3, now K3 is appearing, and as you can see from the picture, it's going to modulate K1, not passing to K2. And we can choose. Moreover, on the DX7, on this synthesizer that we're using, this FM synthesis, you didn't have the filters. Here you have the filters. Here you have other envelopes that with which you can modulate the sound. So let's put away, let's open the filter, choose the filter type. Okay, so let's come back here. So let's put away this modulator because I wanted to keep it as simpler as possible. Okay, we return on the first. Let's come back to sine. So here it's the envelope, so the envelope generator that it will shape the sound. Coming back on modulations, you have up to 3 modulation sources for one kernel, and here there is the feedback. It means that the given kernel that is shown here, it's sending its signal again inside itself, and it's like self-modulating. Now we'll not hear because I have a short envelope. Let's make this longer. Okay. So you can hear the difference, and if we go and at higher values it starts to be like a noise. And here we have another great thing of the quantum. You have, as you can see here on this side, there is a mosquito that is going around. Anyway, here you have phase FM because it's phase modulation. It's not true FM. It's like moving at audio rate the phase of the wave of the carrier. So you can see here, so here you can set how the carrier is going to be modulated. So this is phase FM. Failed to touch correctly. Let's go down. True FM. You hear. True FM can be in harmonic. We have ring modulation, so we need to go on higher values. We have I am modulation, so amplitude modulation. And here we have a great thing that will open. It's difficult to use, but will open a lot of possibilities that are already infinite on the quantum. What does it mean? It means that if we set on waveform, we use the wavetable. We set this in the middle, because you need to understand that the oscillator is bipolar, so it will modulate up and down. We set here LFO, and we go down by hertz, so like this. Nothing new. It's like we are using the wavetable engine and we are modulating the wavetable here, the traveling, with an LFO. Okay, but we need to remember that this is an oscillator. So now we degraded this to an LFO, but it's working on audio rate. So it's working, for me it's working better on sub radio, but it means that you are moving the traveling of the wave inside the wavetable at audio rate. Of course, working like this, it's the speed is referring to the keyboard, so as a keyboard tracking. But if we want to have a modulation that will be fixed, we can choose fixed, start to. Of course, there are no rules, but to me, has not so much sense to go on high-pitched notes, because the modulation will be so fast that it will be not so useful. But what you can also do, for example, let's go on K2 and let's choose a wavetable 2 for K2. Now I am going I am going randomly. Okay, I am choosing something random. Let's go again. So in this case, remember that K2 is the modulator. Let's go on subratio and go OK. Let's tell that K3 is a sine wave or a triangular wave. Need to modulate LFO, okay? At LFO speed, let's set like 1/10 of a second. Okay, after we will set the level, and here we need to remember that the modulator is K3, that is modulating K2. But we need to set here wavetable position. So K3 is modulating the wavetable position of K2, that is modulating K1 at audio range. So this modulation that is given from by K2 to K1, it will be affected by the position of the wavetable. You can hear K3 that is modulating K2. soon we will add I think now the kernel feedback has disappeared. I think that it is because we are using a different waveform, in this case the wavetable. And here you have another page that you can set the modulation, how will behave accordingly to the position on the keyboard. So we will give n high modulation and a low modulation on higher notes. So it's opening a world. And one important thing that I want to point, let's put away all this effect. One important thing that I want to point is that here we are working with 3 kernels, not even all kernels. And because the quantum iridium, they have 3 oscillators for each part, is bitimbral, you can understand that for each part you can have a total amount of 18 operators, oscillators together. So it can be something incredible with different envelopes and different settings. And another thing that you need to see that here we will have the velocity depth that can control the amount of the modulation. What you can also do here is that not only you can modulate these parameters with the envelope, but if we come back to patch and we go to controls, we have 5 macros. As you can see here, top L, top R, center, L and R, that are these 5 knobs. You can assign for these macros up to 6 targets. And so let's say that I want to assign the level of the modulation, okay, that is going to K1 by K2. So top L, we go to K2 level, maximum. We want also to assign, let's say, K2 frequency offset, K2 feedback. But this make you to use this top air center on the modulation matrix, so we can assign LFO that is modulating. I will exaggerate, of course. Kernel, I already passed. Eccolo qua. Let's go on unipolar. So you can do a lot of things on this page. You can rename the macro and so on. I think that I covered pretty everything about the kernel engine. The video is a little bit long, but I could be even longer to go in more details. And I will show you now some sound that, a couple of sound that I programmed with this kernel engine. In some cases I was mixing with the waveform engine. So I hope you appreciated this video. I ask you to put a like, to follow me, to subscribe. It's very important. It's a lot of work, as you can see. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video.